Hello, friends. Here at the Science of People, we talk a lot about decoding people using our senses. In this video, I want to talk about how we can use technology to decode people. I'm here with my business partner and husband, Scott Edwards, who is a tech whiz and does everything behind the scenes here at Science of People. He has been exploring how we might be able to use AI to help give us insight into better helping you, our students. First off, Scott, welcome, and tell us, how can we use AI?
So we're going to look at two big use cases today. The first is with profile pictures, and the second is with priming language. And we're going to be using a couple of open APIs that are available to do this. So let's go ahead and look at the computer and take a look at how we can start using it. All right, so we're going to dive in here and start our demonstration. We're going to be looking at, again, two of Google's different APIs and how we might be able to get some cool information from that. So we're going to be using Vanessa's LinkedIn profile here. And we're going to be looking for information about her profile image and something we might be able to learn from that. And then we're also going to be analyzing her intro paragraphs here and seeing what we might be able to learn from that.
And what is a Google API? What are these tools just basically for us lame tech people?
Yeah, so the APIs that we're going to be using today are Google's Cloud Vision API, which allows you to feed in images from different sources, any image that you might have, and it's going to use Google's machine learning and AI to understand what is in that image and feed us back information about that picture.
So that would be great for like profile pictures, dating pictures, curious for more information about any kind of image,
Exactly.
We're just using LinkedIn as an example.
Exactly. We're more interested in what the faces are telling us and the nonverbal information we might be able to learn about the face.
Got it.
And then we're also going to be using their Cloud Natural Language API. So this actually feeds text through and looks for information about what is inside the text. And it could be for translation purposes, could be to help us categorize different content that we're reading. And we're going to be using it to look at what is being mentioned in the text and is there any sentiment around that? Could we be priming people in one way or another, intentionally or unintentionally? And can we uncover that?
So the reason I like these tools and the reason why I really wanted Scott to do a video for us on this is because we talk a lot about decoding, looking for the hidden meaning behind things. And this is a way to use tools or technology or software to look at the hidden meaning as opposed to just our body language reading ability or emotional decoding ability. So we're getting a little help from technology today.
All right, so let's go ahead and dive in. So this is, by the way, a free demonstration. Anyone can do this. I do have this set up as an API programmatically to try and do this, but for demonstration purposes today, we're just going to go ahead and use their free demo. So I'm going to load up Vanessa's profile here. It's going to scan that image, and really quickly you can see we get back a lot of information here from Google. And so first of all, what's important to notice is it's identified that there's a face in this image. It's identified very closely cropped where that face is, and then it's actually plotted out various points on the face. So you can see the corners of the mouth here, which we know is important for microexpressions.
Well, what's amazing is just, you saw how quick that was. We did not cut that video or speed up anything. And what's amazing is that it is able to know my eyes, my eyebrows. We did not give any information to them about this picture. And we know that for facial expressions, seeing the different points of the face are really important. So for the difference between a fake smile and a real smile, that's why I was really happy when we plugged this in and it said that joy very likely, which means that I'm giving a full smile. So if you see those two dots right next to the corners of my mouth, those are the really important ones, as well as probably, I'm guessing, the cheek dots as well. And so I think what it's doing, it's looking at what we would look at with just our eyes is how big is that smile and is it reaching all the way up into the upper half of the face?
So it'll also label the things that it thinks are in there, right? So we have face, skin, eyebrow, human hair color, smile.
You forgot beauty.
I forgot beauty. I'm sorry. Of course, that's the best one in there, yes.
I can't believe that's a category.
It also knows that it's a picture of you.
Which is crazy.
There's a few mentions of you across the internet. It knows that it's similar to your book cover, knows that you're an author, it knows all the things for which you're associated.
So this is pretty amazing. I just want to reiterate here. This image is not labeled Vanessa Edwards.
You can see it's called zero.jpg.
Like, we gave it no information, but it was able to figure out who I am. It was able to say, wow, this face looks a lot like the cover of Captivate, because my face is on the cover of Captivate. And then it got all of my titles. Titles or tags. So what behavior, psychology, human behavior, entrepreneurship. I would say if I had to pick categories for myself, behavior, body language, psychology, human behavior, entrepreneurship, business female, they pick good.
And then what's important, if you do want to use this in a more machine-based setting, is that it actually spits out all this information in a JSON blob. And this is just important because it's machine readable. So if you ever wanted to do, for example, calculate the difference in height between the corners of the mouth. If, let's see, we're trying to detect contempt, it actually is giving you all the different coordinates for the eyes, the left eye eyebrow, right eye eyebrow. All this information here is available from this one small little picture. It's pretty amazing stuff.
So if you wanted to do like an analysis, like I'm just thinking about for our lab, like we wanted to look at all of our people school students and see what their profile pictures looked like, we could do this all at once and look at patterns. Is that kind of right?
Yeah, exactly right. You could do that. So I think for a profile photo, and you know this better, is you might want to have joy, make sure that you're getting a joy emotion in there. If you're seeing sorrow, anger, surprise, or if it's confused,
right,
you might want to rethink what profile photo you're using.
Interesting. So yes, that's a good point. Is this doesn't always have to be joy, but I think confusion would be worse, right? If you have a snarky picture or a picture that you're making a unique face, sometimes that's not always good for being clear in your communication.
Correct. All right, here we go. So we are going to check out a couple of other examples here. I'm going to X out of this, and I want to see two different microexpressions. We're going to load up this one here. And it should come back and say, look, sorrow is the correct microexpression. So it's actually identified that. Again, you can see that it has all the different parts of my face all plotted out. And let's see if it knows who I am. I doubt. I'm not very internet famous, so I don't know.
Also, you're making a sadness expression.
Oh, it thinks I'm Edward Gutknecht of the World Boxing Association, maybe?
What?
So, yeah, I'm not sure who that is. But it does know that I'm experiencing a sorrow.
That's so funny. So it got your microexpression, but not your face. Now, I wonder if we were to upload a smiling picture of you, if it would know it was you, which we should try next.
Maybe. And then we're going to do one more facial expression here. This is one of our models, Lacey, who you probably have seen before.
So this is, if you know, this is a surprise microexpression, and I'm so impressed that Google got it. Surprise, very likely.
You can see there's a few more signals coming in, but clearly surprise is very likely. It knows who that is. Let's see. No, it doesn't know who Lacey is.
Doesn't know who Lacey is.
But it got the surprise microexpression right. So this is particularly good for identifying microexpressions and different emotions.
Okay, what I want to try is I want to try me making a facial expression if it still gets me, and I want to try you on your smile, see if it gets you.
Okay. All right, two more examples. We're going to try, see if it gets Vanessa doing it correctly here. Here's her surprise.
Here we go.
Facial expression. Let's load it up.
So let's see if it knows.
And there it is.
Okay, surprise. Does it know who I am, though? That's the real question.
No, it doesn't know who you are. So it does get confused a little bit.
That's interesting. So it got the expression, but not the person, which shows you why you shouldn't make crazy facial expressions in your LinkedIn profile picture. And this is a perfect example.
Here I am smiling. Joy definitely gets that
does it
correct.
get you? Does it know you?
No,
Paul Ekman.
So man, by the way, I guess I look familiar.
So Paul Ekman, by the way, is the person who discovered the microexpression. So I think he would be quite honored, Dr. Ekman, if he looked like you.
That works for me. All right, let's go ahead and move on to the introductory paragraphs that you have here. I'm just going to copy this first one as an example. And we're going to go ahead and, again, just use the free demo. This is available if you want to check it out on Google's website. And we'll provide the link in the description below. I'm just going to go ahead and paste it in and ask it to analyze this text for me. And you can see it's already done. It's done it very quickly. And it's gone through here, this text, and it's highlighting all the things it recognizes as entities within here. So it knows that Captivate is a book, for example, or actually it's a work of art. I'm sorry.
Work of art. Of course it's a work of art.
But it's identifying different topics in here: science, leadership, human lie detection, body language, hacks, psychology, and attraction. All these it knows are differing topics that Google knows about. And it's showing us that it's detecting those. And
it would be important, so if you're using this for your profile picture or your profile or your resume or any kind of writing sample you're doing, is are you coming across with a theme as much as you think? So for example, I'm very happy with this, so this looks good to me, but you might not like some of the things it pulls out that it thinks what your writing is about versus what your writing is actually about.
Now this is my favorite view. It actually goes in and maps the entire syntax of every sentence that you're writing about in here. And so it knows her, for example, is a pronoun. It's gender feminine. It is incredible the amount of information.
If you're a data head, you love this.
Out here. Now, if you're just reading this, you would know all this stuff instinctually, right? This is, again, kind of just an example of what's possible with some of these new technologies that are around. But if you do detect one area that I recommend you do look into is the sentiment. And if you are coming across as having a negative sentiment score for anything you're writing about in your LinkedIn profile, or even if you're having a super positive sentiment, it might be something you want to take a look at. Your LinkedIn profiles are not a place that you want to maybe make grand claims or negative statements, so you want to come across pretty professional.
So mine's pretty neutral, right? It looks pretty neutral, which is actually a good thing. I mean, I come at it from a science perspective, and so I think for me, that's actually good. I want to be right neutral in the middle. So you just want to make sure that it's matching your brand or the goals of your whatever you're writing.
Yep, and you'll see it'll actually give a sentiment score to each one of those elements that it detected in there. So you may make a negative comment about a former employer, for example, and you probably don't want to do that.
No.
You may show some kind of bias in your writing that you may not be aware of. So this is a way to, and by the way, this is not scientifically proven, I should say, but this is a way to use data to potentially uncover some sentiment that you're giving away in your LinkedIn profile.
We hope you enjoyed this little tutorial, and maybe even it sparked some ideas for you on how you might be able to use AI in your business.
Whether you're in sales and want to connect more with customers, in marketing and want to understand your clients, if you're an entrepreneur wanting to get more insight into your market, or if you're just curious, we're thinking about creating a Science of People tool using this AI. Let us know in the comments if you might find this useful and if you think it's something that we should investigate further. Thanks so much for watching. If you liked this video, please click the subscribe button below and click on one of these amazing videos up next.